Hello community! It's the night of St. Nicholas and Blizzard put a little gift in our boots. Patch 2.0 brought us a hotkey system. After 22 years of Warcraft 3, we were finally able to change our hotkeys in-game instead of in an old text file. That hotkey system, while it was nice to have, was not really functional, messes with our existing custom keys, and was a little bit of a mess. For example, there was no command card. We had to memorize where every button is in the game and then map it from our memories. It was there, but it wasn't good. So on Monday, we got the first preview of patch 2.01. The PTR went live and we were quite surprised to see that the newly revealed hotkey system got an overhaul. And we reported on this in a video on our YouTube. You see that we do have the command cards now on the right hand side. They also introduced a feature where we can set our inventory keys as well as swap around the F keys for our heroes. This is all the great stuff on the right hand side. On the left hand side, you see how badly organized this is. They basically put everything that is available in the editor and dumped it into the screen. So while you can see some units there, for buildings and heroes you have to scroll down a lot. Also, this is getting a lot worse with stuff like neutral units, because there are a lot of neutral units, as you can see here. You can scroll to the end of days, then there's buildings, and then you end up with the tavern heroes. It gets even worse when you look at items. They also had the shops separate from the other buildings of a faction. It was all a little cluttered. It was all a little weird and not really functional. While it was a step above and in front of the 2.0 version, this 2.01 version was still worse than what we got, because Warcraft Champions provides us with an amazing system that is good. It's just good. It works. So now, 2 days after having 2.01, they redesigned the hotkey custom system again. And they listened. And that's a big W. If you update the PTR and open the test server, you are greeted by this. And this is exactly what Warcraft Champions does. The factions lined up on the left-hand side, including neutral, the units, buildings, heroes in the middle, and then the command card for units, or a second command card if they have it. This goes for workers who have their buildings there, or also heroes who have their spells there if you level up, in a separate second sub command card. While you might be thinking, oh, where are the inventory keys and F keys? They are now here with an indicator, which is pretty good, I gotta say. There is also a neutral system for mercenaries, for everything that you can buy from a mercenary camp, from a dragon roost, from a laboratory. It is all in here now. And while you still have to scroll, it's this 2 screens instead of 17. So the past 2 days, the janitor did a big cleanup on the hotkey system. And pretty much everything they did from Monday to now is better, more logical, and more functional, and also more appealing. So while it's not perfect, for example, I would put the heroes up top and then the buildings and then the units, just to have the important stuff most visible, and some stuff is missing. Like, for example, you see there's a scout tower, cannon tower, and arcane tower, but a guard tower is missing. While you can adjust hotkeys for a farm. Soul Apeman, a very good streamer on Twitch and also content creator, and we spent around 11 hours on this new system and on the 2.01 system. And we can, I think, say that 75% of the bugs that we discovered on Monday are already fixed. So they know what they're doing, they know what they have to do, and the bugs that are remaining, while there are certainly some, they're doable. They follow a certain pattern that you can identify relatively easy, and then we get these bugs out of the way, and then we got a cool hotkey system. So there's still some issues with this because it lacks a certain functionality. Now it's all cleaned up and now it's all appealing. But, for example, the inventory hotkeys are still not sufficient. We talked about this on Monday. I can select Q, Z, G, H, etc. But what I can't do is a modifier plus the letter. So Control Q leads to Q and not Control Q. Also, if you are a Night Elf, you probably have your Staff of Preservation bound to the thumb button on the mouse. This is also not possible. Only letters. And when I say only letters, then I mean only letters, because if you want to, for some reason, put it on a dot or a comma, it is also not working. So they could certainly clean this up and enhance it for more features to make it even better than it already is. And then we reported a lot of bugs. They will probably be ironed out, and good luck with that. Another big feature of patch 2.01 is updated icons, because we made a big video about this. Blizzard, this is shameful. Icons were upscaled with AI in a really, really bad way. We, for example, got this torrent totem, and it is just an utter mess. We had a lot of fun going to the Warcraft 3 Reddit, where this icon was compared to kebab. They even took it from my video. Who wants a torrent kebab? It's not a good idea. We love our torrent. Torrent are our friends. So once again, within the span of 2 days, we got an update. And it's this. And while this is just a screenshot and a picture of the building and not a hand-drawn stylized icon, it is miles and miles better than the mess we had on this side. So there is a repeating theme. The work that the team put out is not flawless, but they are listening and they know who to listen to and where to find credible sources for feedback and bug reports. And then they fix it within a span of a couple of days. So basically, we can help them a lot. So if you guys have an idea about a functionality of a hotkey system, for example, an idea I had was, if you go back to the hotkey system, and we do that here real quick, this is all cool if you have, for example, your hero here and you bind your hotkeys to Y, X, Z, and V. This is basically the queer key grid system. But if you have this, and then you go to a custom map, this could collide with existing custom keys in a map, which is not great. So I would love to have an option for the map makers to force their hotkeys onto you for that specific map, so you make sure that there's no colliding custom keys now that we have the option in-game. Another thing would be that the current solution, it works in a way where you bind the units, you bind the abilities, and basically you bind everything individually. I would love to see a system where you bind this key. So, or this key here. So whether it's Impale or Coil or Nova, it would all be the same hotkey at the bottom left-hand side position. That way, whether you're in the campaign or a custom game or a melee game, your hotkeys here in this grid would always be the same. It is basically grid command, but custom. I know this is a bit too much functionality for this PTR, but maybe this would be something in the future. If you have any shower thoughts, if you have any ideas what they could add, what they could edit, and what's currently missing, put it in the comments. They are reading it. And while you're there, or if you don't have an idea but just want to support the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, and share this video so more people can see. Before we go into more esports, which is the bread and butter of this channel. The best Warcraft 3 games in the world. The schedule is up at backtowarcraft.com, and if you want to be really generous in the Christmas time or the holiday time, you can go on to backtowarcraft.com/support for every way to support us, whether that's a membership, subscription, or a donation. All up to you if you can afford it. Thank you very much for listening. Do you think this is a W, just like I do? Or do you have different thoughts? Well, I'll definitely read all of your comments for sure. See you soon.